most guys that are coming from out of state are not trying to shoot a doe, right? Like, look at us.
10%. 10% that come from out of state shoot a doe.
So, like, they're going to come here to trophy hunt, and I don't blame them. If you're spending money to go out of state, like, I do the same thing. Like, if I'm going out of state, I'm trophy hunting. So, like, if you limit the non-residents, it's going to open up more access because it's going to be less leasing, less outfitting. Also, you're going to have more opportunity at deer because at the end of the day, we've all done it. Like, you know, maybe it's the second to last day of a trip and you're like, well, I was holding out for a 140, but this beautiful 3-year-old's right in front of me. I'm going to smack him. And then you smack the 3-year-old that maybe it wasn't your goal, but you're like, I paid for this tag. I'm going to go home. I know Caleb does a really good job of not trying to do that, but I know
trying.
There's a lot of guys that do that, and I'm probably one of them where at the end of the week, like, if you shoot at the first or the last day, shoot at the first day kind of mentality. Like, I might shoot that smaller buck that I wasn't hoping for. So that would create more access for the residents. And then truly, I think bait would be another one where if you could, on a biological standpoint, it's not good for the deer. And I think it would teach people how to actually go out and hunt, and it would save a lot of those younger deer from getting shot over a corn pile. And I think.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video and the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
the shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
Deer Shop Podcast, episode 126. We have Ethan in the studio today, myself, and the Saddle Boys are in here today. Saddle Boys are in here. Aaron Olsen and Matt Williams in the studio with us today. We are continuing with our take on Ohio. I don't want to say, I keep using the term how to fix Ohio. I don't think Ohio is technically broken, but how to improve if we believe it needs improved. Yeah. The state of Ohio, deer hunting, regulations, herd.
How to look forward on the future.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. This will be the third part in our series. Episode 1 was our comments, Mike Rex's comments, which got a lot of traction on social media. We did a whole podcast about it. Basically, we took people's comments on social media and kind of made our own judgments of said comments. And then last week we had Skip Sly on, Iowa Whitetail. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. That one got an unbelievable amount of feedback.
He's pretty fired up.
Yeah, he got fired up. And then the comments were fired up, and we're still just getting a comment every hour. There's a new comment.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of discussion there, and I'm not going to really break that one down at all in this podcast because there's just a lot of things to go over in that one, and Jay wants to be part of it, and we're just going to let that one keep riding for a little bit. So we're going to keep the series going. We have a great board of people here to kind of break down some of these things that we're going to talk about. 7 bucks in 4 states were killed by this table this year.
Womp.
a lot of contribution, and then one guy that's still on the hunt.
I have seen him once.
Yes, you have seen him. We talked.
Hey, there he is, right there.
Ethan's is bigger than that. We shouldn't call him Ethan's buck. That's a curse, right?
Yeah,
shouldn't call him that. But so this group of guys obviously is going to be able to break down a lot of different rules and regulations and laws at different places we hunt and give our take on it. Make sure you check out their social medias, the Born Again Bowhunting Podcast and Next Step Outdoors on Instagram and Facebook. We all had a recent problem on Facebook, right? We all got the hammer this week.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't even log into my Facebook. Okay. I don't really know.
Aaron also has a YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely got the old shaft like you did.
Same day. I wonder.
I bet it was AI. 100%.
Do you think they went through at the beginning of the year and they're out? Because mine said that it was like a computer-generated program or something found something wrong, which the post that they didn't like was one of the most harmless ones I've ever had.
See, but I could not figure out which post they didn't like from my page. To this day, I gave up.
It might be the name.
I was like,
Bowhunting.
Yeah, truly.
Truly. And it's sad. So
very sad. Facebook is
it's sad. So for the audience who knows, both the Born Again Bowhunting Facebook and the Siman Brothers Outdoors Facebook got slammed by the Facebook admins and is no longer going to be recommended. You will not see it on your feed unless you search for it, and everything we do on there is going to be pointless.
Yep.
But there was a button that said like dispute this. I hit that button, and that's all I did. If it doesn't get brought back, what am I going to do? I don't care that
You got to
much.
go to notifications.
Yeah, it was pretty big notification. Like they pointed it out to you. Nope, looks like you're safe. Yours is still good. Must not show as much blood as we do.
I don't post enough dead stuff, apparently.
Yeah, so.
I didn't even like rebuttal anything. I just, I don't know. Facebook's such a dead app in my opinion anyways that I just was like, what?
There's lots of old people on there.
There's lots of old people on there.
So I don't even post on our Facebook ever. It's just linked to our Instagram. So
same, everything.
We post Instagram and it just goes over to Facebook.
Ties over.
So. And our Instagram did not get hit. I know every once in a while, some of the hunting celebrities, for lack of better terms, will have like a post on there like, oh, I got flagged. Like the Bearded Butchers, that happens to them all the time. Our Instagram's fine still.
Which is weird because it's the same company.
Yeah, Meta.
Should be
or
the
whatever.
same algorithm.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you sent that text in the chat, and then I didn't really think anything of it, and then I just logged onto Facebook and saw the notification. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But I immediately jumped to Instagram because I care more about Instagram than I do Facebook.
Correct.
And like whoever said that, our Instagram didn't get flagged, which is weird.
For a second, I thought maybe we had a disgruntled viewer or listener or somebody that got pissed off, started reporting stuff, but it wasn't. It was a post from it wasn't even our last post a couple weeks ago. It was just a couple deer hanging in the shop saying thank you for listening this year, and it barely showed any blood. There was a little bit on the floor.
Yeah.
I guess showing dead animals is
no good.
Yeah, I don't know. You can dance around
frowned
naked,
upon.
but you can't post a dead
For real.
deer. It's like,
Dance around naked. You can be naked.
yeah, I mean, it's true.
which it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
It's sad. I wish that, and I know that they've tried with like the Go Wild app and stuff. I wish that like there was just a social media outlook for us that we could go to that has traction and is not like in the beginning stages. And I know eventually like somebody's got to bite the bullet and it's got to get started. But like I know that Go Wild thing was kind of popular there for a minute or two, but then
Camo Space a while back.
But then like it died.
Yeah.
Like they die so fast.
It takes a lot for an app or a website to hit with the general public.
Yeah, so like the social media.
Like the last big one was Twitter, right? That was the last one to come alive. Or Instagram.
TikTok probably.
Yeah. TikTok.
Well, so for the hunters though, we might honestly, and I've seen this a little bit. The forums might be coming back.
You think so?
Yeah, because when you had the forums, that was all deer hunters talking deer hunting. You could link pictures and videos in your YouTube channel. You could still do all those things, and it was that's where I started. I was on the forums way before I was on.
I was too young for
Facebook.
Which ones?
Bowhunting.com.
Of course.
Was my main one, but it was huntingnet.com before it was bowhunting.com. So I was at huntingnet, made the swap with the bowhunting.com guys, and then I was also on Ohio Sportsman.
Don't you remember? That's when like 16 and 17-year-old Siman Bros just drove to Wisconsin to meet up with a bunch of random men they didn't know.
Off the internet.
Off
Not
the
weird at
internet,
all.
Yeah.
You were allowed to do that back then. You're not allowed to do that now. We're watching their video.
I don't think
this is a Bowhunter Dive video. Right
They
now
didn't
we're
drive. They got picked up at my parents.
Some random
Yeah,
dude picked
I-
them up.
watching. I drove
Mom
the
packed the
second
guy
time.
lunch.
Drove the second time. The first time we got picked up. Scott Abbott was the guy's name. He's
He's in jail now.
no, he does some competitive archery. Lives out on the west side.
I'm sure he was a good dude. I'm sure he was a good dude.
They were good people.
Yeah.
The bowhunting.com guys were always good. That's some fun stuff.
I started on Archery Talk, and there was another one that I can't remember. Neither of those, though.
Well, I never really got big on archery talk. It was clicky, and I don't like you guys know we talked about this a lot. I don't care about archery that much. It's boring.
Yeah, Archery Talk was definitely more of like a
Technical.
Yeah, or what's the word I'm looking for? Gear related.
Yeah.
Like,
A tinkerer.
yeah.
I had an account, but I didn't post much.
Yeah.
Ohio Sportsman, I was on a lot. And then the Hunting Beast was a big one, but I never got really involved. That was more Wisconsin people.
Yeah, I'm showing my age. I'm younger than all you, so I never
I keep forgetting
old
you're
are
so
you?
much younger.
30. But like that was before my time. Like
Yeah, this is when I was in high school, like
Yeah.
2006, 7, 8, 9 era.
I
How
would bet-
old
I'd-
were you then?
I'd have been in middle school probably, maybe even elementary.
How old are you?
28.
28? Oh, wow. I'm 30, about to be 34 next week or the week after.
I'm the oldest.
40? Is that what it is?
No, I'm 35. Turning 36. I act like I'm 50.
Yeah, you do. You argue like you're 50.
Listen,
Fucking kids.
I am set in my ways, all right? And they have been working a little bit more lately, so I'm even more set in my ways because it happens to work. I don't have a lot of business to go through because it's muzzleloader season and it's slow.
No ad reads?
No never.
Dang.
There will never be ad reads.
Unless Busch Light sponsors us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple I would take. I would take Shitty Coolers for sure. Busch Light.
As we all look at the cooler.
Where was I going with that? Ad reads. I texted you and Kevin because I was listening to our boy Danny on your guys' podcast the other day. First one I've listened to in a couple weeks. He talks well, doesn't he?
Oh, he talks so well.
He talks well, better than us.
Yeah, 100%.
He knows what he's doing.
He sounds very educated.
Ethan, our flame is not a good color over there. Not that I'm too worried about it, but
Yeah, because that heater's made for a 100-pound tank. And
our heater looks a little bit rough. I was listening to Danny's podcast with you guys, and the ad reads, like the way you guys sneak your ad reads in now, which is kind of a cool way to do it. But I was like, they like got me both times, like where you like Danny's talking, and then it's like, my rogue bowstring is perfectly red, and like, wait, what?
They make them in every color.
Yeah. So like, I told Kevin, I'm like, you guys got to come up, you got to have like a little music play or something quick, so you like tune me into that. I know you're playing an ad, you know.
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
Or not. But yeah, that podcast, I did enjoy that podcast.
He does a good job. Yeah.
I enjoyed listening to it. Yeah. No ad reads, no business. If the Ashland Fireboys are listening, we might talk about you. We might not. I don't know. You might have to keep listening this week. I'm not sure. But I brought these guys on. We were kind of talking in the group chat. When you hear us reference group chats on the podcast, this is one of them.
Caleb has 12.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I got 3.
Dude, I'm sure you've got quite a few.
No, there's just really 3 distinct groups that I talk with, and you guys are one of them.
Hey.
I'm honored.
And then we have our mass conglomerate chats, and then I have one with Jay. But not really a lot, but it's nice to get viewpoints. These guys are perfect for it. They've hunted, like I said, we've hunted 4 different states, or 5 different states combined this year. How many did you go to?
Kansas.
I did 5 myself, I think.
Okay.
5?
You did 5 this
Kentucky,
year?
5,
Ohio,
yeah.
Kansas, Pennsylvania, and Michigan.
Did you say Tennessee?
No. Oh, yeah, you did
I
the early
forgot about
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I sat in a tree. That's as far as I'll go, and I never went back. I got a bunch of cameras down there. I think I'm just going to leave them. Not worth the drive.
Man, I wish I was
I mean,
sponsored.
honestly, like, at some point, you probably there's some.
Are you going back next year?
Uh-uh.
Really?
You're just done?
It's a lease and the lease, and it just didn't work out. So,
Did you ever get a picture of any mature bucks at all?
yeah, a couple of decent ones, but none that I really cared to drive that far for. I think I can do better. I mean, they would have been bucks I would have been happy to kill, but it would have been like probably like that was best case scenario to drive 10 hours for that. Like I can.
And we're talking for the people that can't see what he's pointing at, probably 120 inches.
It was like 113,
Okay.
I think,
Something like
14, something like that. Isaac's gun season buck. I mean, we drive 4 hours to kill those in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I got a pile of those on my wall.
But he also drove in August, and it was 90 degrees.
And there was, I've never, I don't think, I'm trying to recall, I don't think I've ever seen a venomous snake until this season.
Really?
You saw them in Kentucky and Tennessee, right?
Yeah, I probably saw
Like rattlesnakes?
copperheads, cottonmouths. I don't think I saw a rattlesnake. Okay. A lot of copperheads.
We see copperheads in Pennsylvania all the time.
PA, yeah.
And the one cottonmouth, that thing was gnarly.
We kind of see, like, well, I guess we see them in the river, don't we? It's
Yeah.
where we see them.
Where we hunt in Kentucky, like right across from where your guys' private is, that chunk in there, I had a buddy find one that was, a rattlesnake was probably 6-7 foot long.
Oh, yeah, there's, in that barn on our property we hunt in Kentucky, I guarantee there's rattles in there at all times.
Yeah. I just never really paid
It makes you a little nervous, like when you're, because like,
I just don't pay attention to
Yeah.
it.
that's what I,
If
like.
you don't
I'm
pay attention,
jumping
you're not
over
worried about it.
logs and like you're just trucking through the woods and like one of these days I'm gonna step on one.
I mean, I was wearing gaiters and everything, and it's 110 degrees, and I got, gaiters up to my knees, and
It'll be okay.
yeah, no thanks.
Were you wearing like snake proof gaiters or just
Yeah.
regular?
snake proof?
Well, I mean, I've got gaiters that are not snake proof. They're just gaiters.
Yeah. I tend to just not pay attention to that kind of stuff. But I also do the same. I also don't care about ticks until after the hunting trip's over. And I got these 2 tick bites on my back here that I had to go get antibiotics for that have still yet to heal from gun season in West Virginia. So maybe I should start paying attention.
Do you wear a harness in the tree?
Yes, always.
Oh, that's good. At least I'm surprised.
Well, dude, I'd fall hard. If I fell out of a tree,
the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I'm going to fall hard. It
doesn't really hurt to fall 12 feet from your ladder stand, though.
That's true. Well, the rung's on the way down.
Well, no.
Over.
That could easily kill you.
Yeah. I always wear a harness no matter what.
Good.
No matter what.
That's good. Anybody listening, do the same thing.
I'm not going to die falling out of a tree.
Isaac's still scared to sit in a saddle without the lineman around the tree.
Yeah.
He has double rope.
Hey, good for him, man, I guess.
It's freaky.
Do you climb with, maybe this should be off air. 'Cause
I stay connected.
I don't.
The whole time.
I don't.
Stay connected as in lineman or?
No.
Like I use my lineman the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
But then do you just have one rope or do you take 2?
I have a tether and a lineman.
Okay.
Because I hang my backpack off I take my lineman belt off, clip it back onto itself, and then I hook my backpack.
I do the same thing.
See, I don't. I'm bad. I use my tether as my linesman.
Lineman, not linesman.
Lineman. Thank you.
Born Again Bow Hunting has a thing with grammar, I've noticed lately.
Yeah, we're all dyslexic, so cut us some slack.
Drank too many Arnie Palmers.
That's probably what it is, the sugar. So, like, I get on my platform, and then, I jump up and down a couple times, set it, make sure it's good, and then I take it off, and then tether in, hook into my lineman. Or to
Just because you don't want to carry another rope?
Yeah, the weight.
Don't you have 2 dump
They're like
boxes?
7 millimeters. They ball up like this.
I don't want it.
I know you guys don't do this because you don't keep sets in the tree. But when I'm hunting a saddle in the same spot, I leave my tether in the tree. So I just lower it all the way down to the sticks and I unclick. And then I put my linesman around.
See, I'd have a heart attack if I did that.
Why?
Because if something changed the next day and I had to bounce somewhere, I want it with me.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I'm telling, I find it hard to believe you only have one saddle set up.
Well,
now he probably
currently I had 7 of them, but I sold them all to you guys. Currently, now
you sold
I only
them
have
to them because I haven't tried one yet.
Yeah, I only have one now.
Are you gonna try it?
I mean, I might try it next year, but I didn't need to.
Only took him 4 years.
What do I need to use the saddle for?
This is true.
Ethan sets up Kentucky stand.
That's right. Ethan just dropped you a pin and said, "Go here."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I may dabble with the saddle a little bit next year. I'll have to practice in the summertime.
Yeah.
You would really like it for our Indiana trip and stuff.
Probably if we ever make it back out there.
Even West Virginia, you would love it.
I got ladder stands everywhere down there.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm using a rifle.
Are we doing Indiana this year? Yeah. I have the first week of November off.
I mean, I'll be there, so if you want to tag along, you're more than welcome to come.
I want to make it a point, I think.
If all of my plans fall through, I will be there. It sounds really exciting. I have some other more exciting things
I would
in the works.
Yeah, that property that you picked up, I'd definitely prioritize that.
Which one?
Easy.
I would love to do Indiana again, and we have some of our guys have been kind of bothering us about you guys need to go to Indiana again. I want to try that, and it's
yeah. After Born Again Matt comes home with a stud, and then everybody's like, "Oh, are you going back to Indiana? Can I tag along?"
I just don't know if we'll have the time. I know you said you have the beginning of November off. I don't know next fall what my time's going to look like. I have it off, so I'm not working. But
you're not planning on killing $3 before November?
I just if we still have tags in Kentucky and West Virginia and Ohio,
I don't blame
Indiana would be 4th on the list, especially with the way Kentucky costs, and we're going to get into some of that in this podcast. But Kentucky's an investment, so I want to make sure we kill there. Plus, we know the problem.
And plus, the seasonal dates in Kentucky are just so it's eye catching,
Yep.
You can go down to early season. You got early muzz. Rifle opens early. You got a late muzz.
You need to quit talking about all the states that you do. Well, you got private land, so never mind.
Well, at least
you got private land. You can talk all you want.
I do like the way Kentucky does things, and I like how it adds to what we can do in Ohio so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
The early archery season affects Ohio none. The early muzzleloader season is during the lull in Ohio per se, so you're not wasting a rut hunt or an early
October
season
16th and 17th.
Right. So and then if you want to go back for rifle, which
November 8th, I think.
Yeah, it's early.
It's the first weekend in November or something stupid like that.
So it doesn't affect Ohio much at all, which is
Awesome.
Which surprises me that Kentucky has the deer that they do, because in the last couple of years, Kentucky's been shooting a lot of, like, just the state in general has been taking a lot of good deer. And you'd think with the velvet season and the early rifle season and bait, you would think that, like, that would be a recipe for disaster.
I believe
Maybe it's just population.
The velvet season's only on private land, though.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, I'm thinking Tennessee.
You're
Never
thinking
mind. I'm
Tennessee.
getting confused.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
you're correct. Tennessee's is.
Yeah, I was down there in
private.
Kentucky
I was
for
going to
the
say,
velvet season.
you hunted with us
Yeah.
down there.
But what's not talked about with Kentucky is the majority, I bet you 60 to 75% of the record book entries from Kentucky are from the 4 bow-only counties on the west side. So, like, where we go in Kentucky, I bet you there's one.
Wait. This is news to me.
Kentucky has 4 archery-only counties.
No, that's West Virginia.
No.
And
No.
Kentucky.
Or is it West? Is it
No,
West
it's
Virginia?
West Virginia.
Is it West Virginia
Kentucky
on the
doesn't-
west side?
I was going to say, I'm
it's
going to
like-
start
it's like
going
the
to those
Southwest.
counties.
Okay. I thought Kentucky had them too.
No.
Ethan, look that up for me.
I am.
West Virginia does, I think.
West
you're right.
Virginia, Logan, Mingo.
Yeah. That's where all their record book entries
Yeah.
come from,
Yeah.
is their
Yeah.
archery-only counties.
Kentucky does not have any counties that are strictly bow only.
Okay. I got that wrong. Well, I don't know. So that's where
I think it might be population, though. Like, they,
Well, yeah.
you know, like where we hunt, like them old boys, they don't.
So
Half of their deer probably aren't even checked in.
I have it written down to definitely go into that. Where, you know, our relationship with Kentucky has shown that there are a lot of hunters, but we don't run into them ever.
No.
There was when we bought our tags down there for this season, the guy said that he sold some to North Carolina and all these other states were coming in. We're from Ohio because he has to take your license and just bop at Walmart there. But we never physically ran into anyone that was hunting.
But we also
when were
didn't
there.
check public lands either.
No, but there's a public real close to where we were, and
Really?
I ran into a lot of public, a lot of non-residents on the public.
Well,
you also
You
hunt public.
went-
You also Googled the most popular hunting
No.
spots in each state.
Even
Go
when I-
and hunt there.
Even when I came 2 years ago when I hunted with you guys,
you ran
I-
into guys on that?
I stepped in somebody's crap in the parking lot.
That could have been.
and then
a
you shot a
trucker.
buck, and then you because I talked to guys around, and then you shot your buck, and I was like, "See ya, you guys got enough help. I'm driving to a different piece of public,
Yeah,
a ways away."
You drove way away from us.
When we
and
were
there was so many people, I just went home.
when we were down there for the muzzleloader a couple years ago, we never saw anybody, but we did find a dead doe.
Yeah.
Like someone had gutted and skinned a doe and left the carcass on the side of the pull-off.
They quartered it.
I think that area that we hunt in, I think it's just like a very like rifle culture area, because like I've got some buddies in the area that hunt, you know, that public, and they say every year like there will be a truck and a tent and some hillbilly parked there on every pull off in that public for rifle season.
You ran into a group when you went down the very first time to do the public.
But weren't they out of staters?
They're Ohio. From
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah. Do they ever kill any deer on their trip?
I don't know.
Have
I
you
touched
t-
them once, and then that was 3 years ago now.
When we went down in 2020, the first time I ever did Kentucky public, we went more south. I don't know if we were kind of where you were headed or not, but it was like a southern part of Kentucky. There was nobody. I mean, that first week on public, we ran into no trucks, no people, no deer, but nobody.
That's why.
There was just nothing happening down there. But Kentucky's model is interesting. I think there's way less hunters. I think if you
I
look at the
agree.
number of
There has
licensed
to be.
sales,
There has
it's
to
got to
be.
be way less than Ohio.
Well,
I don't have that data, but I know. Well, we know what Ohio's is, so if you look up Kentucky's, it'd be interesting to see. But that was one of the states I have listed here for us to kind of compare to, and it's good that we started there. But while Ethan's looking up those numbers, we might as well start all the way from the top. Skip Slices, Michigan's the worst.
Agreed.
Absolute worst state run in the union, and we have a person here who grew up there and hunted there his entire early life, so he can tell us all about it.
Yeah, it sucks. And the fact that they're about to add baiting back in potentially.
Yeah,
is-
what's that about? I saw that on social media.
Well, they banned baiting because of CWD, and then now they're
For
saying,
years, right?
huh?
Like 5-6 years?
Oh, it's been
10 years?
as long as I can remember.
Oh, really?
Because I grew up hunting in like northern Michigan, and it's like we would cut out a tenth of an acre in the middle of a cedar swamp, and you had to dump corn and apples and stuff to even see deer. Then they got rid of that. I'm sure everyone still does that, but now all of a sudden, if you buy this $50 baiting fee, like
they're doing
CWD
that.
doesn't affect them, I guess. So
They're just trying to make more money.
Skip alluded to in his last post I saw about it, that because he made a post about it. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah,
Farm Bureau is the one that got that enacted. They need to sell more corn. So that's the angle these people are using.
Really?
I shouldn't say these people. That's the angle that's being used by the government is, well, Farm Bureau is putting the pressure on that we need to sell more corn within our state. And the best way to do that is to let deer hunters buy it
Wow.
again. So, yeah, Michigan.
Wow.
I mean, there's definitely potential. Like I have friends that are a part of what they call co-ops, and they have large tracts of land, and other neighbors do too, and they share. Usually, especially around here, you get a good deer, you don't tell anybody except for your immediate circle. Well, they have this co-op, and they share, hey, here's this beautiful 3-year-old, don't shoot him. And they've kind of built this culture around that, and then deer get to 4 and then 5, and they're killing 150-inch plus deer in certain areas. And then, I was hunting a property just a few miles away, and I'm lucky to even see, 110-inch deer all season.
We have tried that co-op model with our neighbors, and usually it's not a knock on our neighbors at all if they're listening. It's just in the past, like we start the season off strong. Like these bucks are on the don't shoot loose list, and these bucks are on the shoot list.
And then Isaac shoots one.
Well, yeah. Then Isaac accidentally mistakes one, and then the neighbor gets into gun season, and he's letting his nephew's brother's son hunt, and like, oh, he's a kid, so he can shoot whatever he wants. Well, when you do that 5 times in a year, that you have 5 kids shoot whatever they want, it doesn't work. And there was a lot of misconception. Like some of my former neighbors thought it was shitty of me that I would say anything, but you can't have a plan and expect us to follow it, and then you are allowed to keep sliding and breaking your own rules. I'm not saying kids aren't allowed to shoot deer, but if you want to start a shooting zoo where every kid from the county can come hang out on your 6 acres, it's not going to help what I'm doing, so I'm not going to share no more. You know what I'm saying? So Ohio has a lot of that, and that's the conversation I've read from all the comments on the YouTube video and the posts on Ohio Whitetail 2. Ohio has a lot of very opinionated, you can't tell me what to do, you guys are crying, shut the hell up comments. So a majority of them are of that. And the other flip side of that is everyone else is like, yeah, let's please ban all this stuff so we can get back to having huge bucks and not have to hunt over corn piles. So it's like a pretty good divide right up the middle, I would say. Ethan, what'd you come up with?
Last year, 2024, it was the second highest recorded harvest in Kentucky ever, the most since 2015. In the county that we hunt, 400 middle 400s were killed. In the county you hunt, double that.
Wow, I'd have been surprised.
So we were asking how many hunters there were in that county or in the state, and we got none
hunters?
None of that information out of that comment. But I just want to know the hunter density. You know what I mean? Skip's comments were interesting. We're going to keep referencing last week's podcast. He says that Iowa's hunter density is higher than Ohio's because of the terrain.
He said it's the second highest per huntable acre,
Well,
I think is what he said to Wisconsin.
That's the key, per huntable acre.
And I do not believe that factors in. Like I'm not negating what he said, but I'm sure he doesn't count parts of Ohio as unhuntable. I'm sure Ohio is listed as completely huntable. You know what I'm saying? Like where Ethan's hunting, 80% of it I would list as unhuntable acres.
Yeah.
But I doubt in their study. I doubt in that study that it is being delineated that way, because he said 2/3 of the state's completely unhuntable. Well, that's not true. There's obviously some deer somewhere in those spots, but
I think he's just talking about like timber, probably is what he's talking about, right?
yeah. But so how do deer live in Kansas and South Dakota?
I get what you're saying, but like to his point, he's probably just talking about like huntable acreage, isn't like a tree line or something that you can climb in a tree or timber.
I still don't know how that could be accurate. Like, how can you say what's huntable and what's not?
Yeah, that would be a hard stat to come up with.
Anything's huntable if you put your mind to it.
I mean, you're not wrong. Anything is technically huntable, but
I agree.
Back to Michigan. We got sideswiped there. Michigan's bringing baiting back, which is kind of interesting that this is happening while we're having these conversations and these podcasts about how to make Ohio better. And the majority of us are leaning towards banning baiting. Michigan's bringing it back, which is like a reverse.
They're bringing it back for a fee, right?
I think
you have
the whole
to buy like a baiting license.
Yeah, but I think the whole reason behind is people have complained about it and they think it's going to fix their, what are the 3 R's? Retention, recruitment, and what's the third one?
Who knows?
I don't know. Basically, they want to keep hunter numbers up, and I think that's their way of, well, we did it before and we gotta bring it back. And it's really discouraging. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath that even Ohio makes any changes, but I will say I think it's encouraging that so many people are having these conversations, that Mike Rex has even been open to having dialogue around this, because if I were him and I had it in my head that I wasn't going to make any changes, I'd probably just try to hide and minimize as much of this talk as possible, and seems to be bringing it to the surface.
He definitely opened up the door. I don't know if he got pressure from uppers or from groups to do that.
I think so.
But Mike definitely opened up the door. We're going to try and have him on as soon as we can. He did agree to come on the podcast and talk about some of the stuff.
Was that before or after the Skip episode?
He was hesitant before, and then he agreed after.
Okay.
But there also is a list of things he doesn't really want to talk about.
You have to share those off air.
Baiting and crossbows. The two things that we're not going to talk about much today because it's already known how we all feel.
I mean, I know that you don't care what's talked about on your podcast, but I listened to the Whitetail podcast. Jake Hofer and Mike were debating about Ohio. And have you listened to that?
I have not. I don't listen to podcasts.
Every time Jake, fantastic podcast host, like he would ask fantastic questions, and every time there was a good question that was asked, crossbow, corn pile, etc., dude, Mike just wanted to skate every single question and would not give him a straight answer. Yeah. I found it so frustrating.
That's going to be the hard part of what we're going to try to do because
that's what I'm getting at
inevitably we're going to talk about drones, crossbows, and baiting, like the three hottest topics.
Why wouldn't you? That's what everybody's complaining
it's
about.
that and non-residents that's what I think are the main topics to be discussed.
And Jay went really hard and was trying to steer our conversation with Skip down the non-resident.
There was no steer in that.
Right, there was.
Yeah, he's pretty worked
Skip
up.
sent us a message. He's like, because he listened to it back, he's like, damn. He's like, I was caffeinated.
He's a good dude. I think he has good intentions, and
Correct.
I think he's very smart, and I agree with a lot of the stuff he says. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of steer in that combo.
He wanted Jay really wanted it to be about the non-resident stuff, and he was able to get some of that point across. And the non-resident stuff, we all hunt out of state, so we know how it is, and we go to states that require draws, and we spend them. Kentucky's a very expensive state to hunt. We spend the money in Kentucky. I am for Ohio turning into either some type of draw or some type of limit and points, whatever the system ends up being. I do believe something like that needs to happen, and it really pisses people off when you say that. There's a lot of people who come in here that get pissed off.
Yeah, nobody likes change.
For me personally, I'm open to that across the board. I would rather, even if it's a name a state, I would rather have to wait a couple years, pay more money to hunt there, but have a better experience and have a more exclusive opportunity.
Amen.
Especially, I mean, I'm specifically talking probably more public land access.
Right.
I mean, private land, if you work hard enough, if you work hard enough anywhere, you get good opportunities, but if you get the right private land access, some of these regulations don't impact you nearly as much, I feel like. But on public land especially, like I would gladly wait a couple extra years to go somewhere, have an exclusive opportunity to hunt, or a more exclusive opportunity, less pressure, and then have to wait again for a couple years to hunt there. I would gladly do that as a non-resident in other states. Not just, it's easy to sit here as an Ohio resident saying, yeah, we should make a lottery and limit the amount of non-residents, but I'm someone who actively travels, and I would gladly do that elsewhere as well.
Yep.
You can play the game where you hunt this state one year, this state the next year.
Bounce.
You have a rotation
that
you set yourself into.
Yeah.
And it would work out fine for us with, we like to hunt Pennsylvania, we like to hunt Kentucky, West Virginia. Would it suck a little bit, as an example, would it suck if I had to draw in West Virginia every 3 years and there was 2 years where I wouldn't have a buck tag? Yeah, but I would still go. I'm sure
but then,
there'd be some kind
you
of
would still
hunting.
spend money. You would still travel there, put cameras up.
I would go and film whoever did have a tag. That would come down to certain guys will probably only have tags during the week, and I'd still go to.
Yeah, but to Aaron's point, you would probably have better deer.
Oh yeah. Well, each place is a little bit.
It's
different.
all situational. I understand that, but like I was listening to a podcast. I'm trying to scratch my brain and figure out who said this. Supposedly Ohio, and maybe once I say this, it'll refresh somebody's mind. Supposedly Ohio had 45,000 non-residents.
It fluctuates between 35 and 40,000 yearly. Like it stays in that range.
Well,
every year.
The second highest non-resident state was like Kansas at like 20-some thousand. So Ohio allows double the amount of non-residents in the United States as the second highest state, which I think was Kansas at like 20-some thousand.
I mean, that's huge.
That's huge.
I didn't know that.
20,000.
If we have more out-of-state hunters than any other state, that's That's big.
That's bad.
It would make sense though, because again, we're the first good state surrounded by.
And that's
states
what
that don't have
the
great
argument was, and I forget who said it was on. And I'm
Was
not
it
saying
Jay in ours?
no.
Because I know Jay's argument is we're the gatekeeper state for good bucks.
I don't think it was
And everyone
to
from
the
Michigan
east,
comes,
right.
PA from the South,
And
they
that
come up.
whoever was saying this on the podcast, that was their argument that anybody from the South or anybody from
Was
the
it
East,
Clint on Hunter?
I didn't
I don't-
listen to
The
that
Ohio
one.
deer biologist?
I don't remember. I'm sorry, I'm dropping the ball. But I do remember listening to that and going, "Oh my gosh!" Like if that guy was spitting facts, like that's not good. That we're allowing twice as many non-residents as the second highest state.
Yeah, if that's true, that's wild. We definitely Ethan, do your work on that. Our fact checker.
Fact check Maddie on that.
Fact check on us. Well, I guess we've been all over the place, and that's fine. All over the place.
Those
is
are
my
the best
favorite.
type.
You gave your input on Michigan. You said not good unless you get co-op, and the bringing baiting back. There was something you said that I want to hit on. You said they think that'll help with their 3 Rs, including retention. The point has been driven home in these last couple podcasts that Ohio's losing hunters, and we are very liberal with what we allow. Super long season, no antler point restrictions. We allow baiting. We allow crossbows.
Drones
are legal. Ohio lets you do pretty much everything, and we're losing hunters.
Thermals.
We're losing licensed sales. A lot of people are saying, well, that doesn't include people like me, landowners. Did you buy a license?
So you want to hear something? I was kind of hoping you'd bring this up.
Well, I'm not allowed to. I guess I can't.
No, we talked about it on today's podcast.
Okay,
You're
because
good.
you promised me not to tell anybody.
I know, but I revoke my statement.
I like honesty. I appreciate that.
Because I thought about that, and I'm like, I think it'd be a disservice to the deer, and I think it would also be dishonoring to God for blessing me with the deer, because like he blessed me with that situation. So I was like, I'm gonna do it.
So the audience, Matt told me not to tell anyone that he killed his buck on his farm.
Yeah,
his own farm, his first deer from his own farm. But he told me not to tell anybody.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't tell you.
Well, I didn't.
I didn't ask.
I didn't want people to know.
Was it a good one?
He's sitting right here.
Oh wow!
But yeah, what was I saying?
I asked if you bought a license.
Oh, and I bought a license, and I wanted to be the change because I don't think this is right. So I own my own ground, I pay my own taxes, but I do not own the resource that lives on that ground. So I actually bought an either sex tag, obviously before season.
He was going to hunt in public, is why.
Yeah, and I tagged a buck that I shot on my own ground with that either sex tag. So take that to anyone else that's eating the system.
I bought one too.
Nice.
I bought my license and a tag and used a tag. So like,
Nice.
I didn't do the whole landowner.
Dude, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I think
I spent the money and I did it. I'm a stat.
If you
I'm a stat.
bought it, you would have to use it eventually, or it's just.
Well,
burn.
I mean, you could just let it go, but
we could keep hitting the landowner button and not spend a dime.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I didn't want to be the landowner that is like, oh, it's my deer, and I don't want the ODNR to know anything about my harvest, and like, I just didn't want to be that guy.
I've been using that argument a lot lately on social media because guys are like, why do you care how I hunt? You should worry about yourself. We're all God's children, and this is all this and that. And it's like, whoa. If you don't care what anyone else is doing, are you going to care when you go hunting and you see 0 deer because your neighbor shot 50 with a thermal scope?
Yeah.
And like, then they're like, well, that's extreme. That's insane.
Look where we're going.
Well, we are starting to scratch the surface on having to do some of that stuff, and that's why we're having these conversations.
Yeah.
You want us to leave you alone, but until you're the problem, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But
until
if you
it
become the
affects-
problem,
Amen.
then it's a huge deal.
Yep.
I couldn't find the information.
Couldn't find that information. We'll have to look that up. So the information in question, does Ohio have twice as many non-resident hunters as any other state?
I do have more information on Kentucky when we get there, though.
I was actually going to go to Pennsylvania next. I know we kind of didn't talk too much about Michigan. Skip said the Ron Paula buck is fake. Your dad said it's real. You told us that.
He said he saw pictures of it the very next day. So
Skip said that there's never been a deer over 150 inches killed there besides all the ones from Paula killed.
I know of some decent ones running around there.
Traverse City? Do they look like that?
I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about what's up there, but
all right, fair enough.
APRs might work. So as far as all this regulation stuff, I think it's worth for something.
Perfect segue to Pennsylvania. So I was going to talk about Pennsylvania. I have never deer hunted Pennsylvania. Isaac has a bunch. I've turkey hunted it a ton, but I've never deer hunted. You two though have spent a lot of time up there, killed some bucks up there. Pennsylvania's model, good, bad, indifferent. Give me your rundown. Either one.
Do you want to go first?
I don't mind. I don't have as much time behind the bow as Aaron does in PA, but for the limited time that I do have, I have some buddies that live there that send pictures and trail cam pictures, etc., and show deer that they're hunting. I would say that based on what I was told growing up is that, oh, don't go to PA. There's no big deer in PA. PA's junk. From the time, I got invested into hunting, it's just basically Michigan and PA are the worst states. I will say that my experience in PA was not that. I think that PA is on the rise, and I think that the antler point restrictions are really, really starting to take effect. And I think the culture in PA is changing as well. Maybe you guys could bounce off of that. Because like the buddies that I have that hunt out there, like their goal is like a mature deer, 140 inches, and they're getting them on camera. My one buddy from PA stuck like a 160, couldn't find him. The neighbor ended up killing him, like taped it 160 in PA. And like, now granted, the areas that they're hunting, maybe a little bit like suburban kind of areas, but it's still in Pennsylvania, and they're still chasing deer that are as big, if not bigger, than some of the deer that we're chasing in Ohio.
I think it's a lot like where we hunt in West Virginia. Everyone struggles to climb up the mountain, and then they shoot the first 6 point that comes by because that's just the way things are, and it's so much work put in. But our trail cameras and our hunting experience have proven that there's really good deer in West Virginia, just like there is really good deer in Pennsylvania. Just there's a barrier to get to them. There's a barrier of entry. They're not an easy deer to kill like Ohio. You can't take your side-by-side out to your corn pile and your box blind and just shoot a 150 like you can here.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania requires a lot more public land. I would tend to agree with what you said. Now, Aaron's situation might be a little bit different because he's more public land out there, but
No, it's private, but it's all shared. It might as well be public, but it's
a public-private piece.
Yeah, it's a public. Yeah. Anyway, but my take on PA, and I think pretty highly of Pennsylvania, and there's very small differences between Michigan and Pennsylvania. I mean, they both have a very strong culture of gun season and killing deer, and
probably stronger than Ohio. Both of them.
Oh,
both of them.
100%,
I think
100%.
it's probably like Michigan, PA, and Wisconsin are probably the top three in that regard.
100%.
And then they switched to a $1, and then they implemented
APR.
Some type of APR. Is there APRs across the entire state? I know they're different based off. I hunt a couple different counties, and the APRs are a little bit different based off where you are.
I don't know that factually.
Based off the zone and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's just zone related.
Okay. So, anyways, it's basically Michigan with $1 and APRs, maybe statewide, maybe not statewide. And the deer that live there are Ohio quality. I mean, there's giant mature bucks.
I mean, look at that guy that found them shits.
Yeah.
I know that that's like the hush
the
hush. Yeah, do I have the pin? No, I didn't spend that much time looking for him, but
I don't think it'd be that hard to find.
I don't think so either.
Like that deer was public land, mountains.
They definitely have the terrain.
200-inch typical. You know,
they got the big hills. They have the swamps.
Fertile ground down low.
There's also a ton of so like growing up, or like where I was hunting in Michigan, I mean, there's a lot of deer, but you would drive around in an evening and you'd be lucky to see 2 or 3. You might see like two 2-year-olds and a 3-year-old driving around for an entire evening. The first time I went to Pennsylvania, and I'm not going to say where or anything like that.
Of course.
But we drove around at dusk, and I don't remember the number, but it was
you can
like,
drive around after dark there and spotlight.
Yeah, you can spotlight too.
Yeah.
It was like we saw like 30 like racked bucks, and some of them were like 150s, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come hunt here.
I really have to give credit to my buddy who lives out there, Brad, but like he's the one that like got me the spot, put me on the deer. Like I didn't do anything besides shoot the thing, but
dude, those are good friends. I need someone.
Yeah, he's a fantastic friend.
Hey, Brad, hit me up.
Yeah, but like what I'm getting at is like we went spotlighting one night because it's legal.
Yeah,
I've never done it, and he's like, "You want to go glass or you want to go spot for deer?" And I'm like, "It's dark," and he's like, "Oh, I got a jacklight in the car," and I'm like, "Dude, I can't do that. Like that's not cool." And he goes, "It's illegal in PA."
Yeah.
So we drove around and like checked fields, and to your point, like, dude, the amount of big deer in that area that like, holy moly.
Did it feel wrong?
It did feel wrong. I almost like, so I did it once because it was like the little kid that I had the light or whatever, and like he's like, all right, shine this field, and he's like, just be respectful and don't shine houses. So like Like we drive by the farmhouse or whatever, and he's like, all right, light it up. So I light up this spotlight and I'm looking, and then there was a car coming the other way, and I put it down, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, there's a car coming. I don't want him to see. He's like, dude, it's like people do this all the time.
Yeah,
if we lived in Pennsylvania, we would have been arrested 10 years ago. I'd be driving around with a case of beer, just looking at deer out the window.
And it's
every night.
No shame in that. That's what I would have done and got arrested.
Where I stay at my buddies, it's like it's up on this hill, right, kind of near the road, and then there's just fields all over. And you'll sit there, and we have a couple soda pops in the garage, and everyone just comes by. Psh,
yeah,
just. Yeah,
what, and
everybody. You probably see 15 cars drive by.
Are you like a ginger ale kind of guy, or like Pepsi's?
Something like yeah.
So when he
No.
said that everybody does it, I kind of took it as like, he's lying. Well, his other buddy comes over, and like we were talking, and I hopped into his truck because we were going somewhere else, and like right on his passenger floorboard, there's a jack light right there, a spotter, and I'm like,
the rifle in the back, that's illegal.
Yeah, no, you can't.
The spotlight's fine.
You can't have a loaded gun, but like, it's just their culture is just different. Like, it's just interesting to me.
Well, let's add that to the list of regulations. I don't want spotlights.
But all that to say, it's basically Michigan with a couple different regulations, and those regulations make all the difference, and now there's big deer.
Yeah.
I think the 1 buck is a giant factor in that, and I think the age point restriction is kind of a factor. I do realize that you start to high grade deer when you do that because
bring that up.
All the good genetic younger deer get shot, and the bad genetic older deer.
I was there gun season this year, and this Mega 6, I have his sheds from 2 years ago. This Mega 6 walks out, and I'm like, big mature buck, couldn't shoot him.
6 point, yeah.
What's the fee?
I don't know.
Would have been worth it?
It would have been on YouTube. Well, that wouldn't have been on YouTube, I should say.
As long as you pay your fine, you're okay.
Yeah.
You guys get speeding tickets all the time. We're not going to jail.
Okay, Bomar.
I'm kidding, by the way. If anyone watches this, they know that I like to throw that out there. Pennsylvania. What I have read lately is the big point of contention in PA. They're actually. It sounds like most guys are happy with the APRs. Most guys, everything that's happening up there, they like. The one thing that they do not like is they changed the gun season opener to Saturday.
Dude, that's such a dumb thing.
It is like brutal. Like reading these PA groups and stuff. Like
they can hunt Sundays now, though.
Well, because the traditionalists, a guy like me, and
you would be the one arguing.
Yes, and I'm glad that West Virginia is. I enjoy that West Virginia is on Monday because you can open up your camp Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and do the stuff. Have fun, no stress. Don't have to worry about hunting. Do the little things, change a million tree stands, and muck the woods all up like we do. The traditionalists had it that way, and they loved the Monday opener because the weekend was for the camp, the boys, all that, families, you name it.
Yep.
But with the season opening on a Saturday now, the guys that would get off work Friday and drive to camp and not to take too much PTO and all that stuff, there's people in the woods hunting Saturday morning. So they're trying to open up their camp on Thursday and Friday, blah, blah, blah. And I know the people that own a deer camp are the small percentage.
Minority,
but if we don't care about tradition and the way things were and stuff like that, history, if we don't care about any of that stuff, we're doomed to make mistakes in the end. Like some of that still is relevant, I believe. At least that's how I think.
I mean,
but I'm a traditionalist.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I mean, to your point, there has to be change, right? And so, what was their main reason for changing it? Just to have more days of hunting.
People were complaining that I had to take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off work to hunt deer, and et cetera, et cetera. Why don't you let us hunt turkey? Oh, how did that with turkey? We open on a Saturday now for turkey season, which I don't.
It used to always be a Monday.
I don't like that. The beautiful thing about the Monday opener for Ohio was not a lot of guys, there's guys who like to hunt turkeys, but not a lot of guys are going to take off work to hunt turkeys. So opening day of turkey in Ohio, when it was on Monday, was a beautiful day to hunt. There wasn't a lot of pressure in the woods, and the pressure didn't come in until the first weekend. Is there pressure
on the woods on private land?
Oh my gosh. I've watched more turkeys get killed by a neighbor than I've killed myself here in the last couple of years. Anyways, I'm a fan of the Monday opener. Now, the argument was more people will be able to hunt retention on 3 Rs if you open it on Saturday. So that's why they did.
See, I would rather it be a Saturday person.
See, I'm a Saturday person, but I don't have a deer camp either.
What about you, Ethan?
It doesn't bother me at all. Whatever.
Ethan, do you think it's more impressive if a guy can kill bucks on private land or if a guy can kill bucks on public land?
Killing a buck is cool. I want to do that.
That's a beautiful answer. What do you think my answer was?
More impressive?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or do you
what's a
think-
bigger
or do you think
accomplishment?
I
what
don't care?
state?
Like consistently,
Just anywhere.
if a guy consistently kills on private or a guy consistently kills on public, which is more impressive in your mind? Like, it's not a trick question. Just like, which one do you think
Public is more impressive in my mind. A lot
Is it
less.
close or is it like a no-brainer?
It's close. I mean, it's hard to kill a good buck anywhere. People
I
that kill
agree. Which
consistently hard
nobody's
good bucks
nobody's arguing with that.
Yeah.
is a good hunter.
Yeah.
But private has more pressure, more laws,
Public.
more rules. Yeah, public has more pressure, laws.
What about your situation? I bet you could have killed a better buck on public around here this year than he could have
I
on private.
guarantee I could have.
See?
With the amount of time you've put in. Just think about if you would have put that amount of time into the farm, you would have shot
He didn't need to.
one of Caleb's bucks
Here.
for next year.
He could have shot a buck.
I put that poll on my channel. I got almost 500 votes. 70% said it's a bigger accomplishment to kill on public. 4% said private, and 25 said it doesn't matter.
But your channel's also
I-
skewed results on a public land mobile hunter.
That's what I said too.
I'm
If
private
we
land
If we
mobile
put it
hunter.
on ours, it'd
That's
be
why I said that you need to put it on your
I
story.
want to know.
Well, there's the old people don't know how to use YouTube like that, so I only get 21 replies. I'll put it. I will. I'll do that when I.
What is your demographic? What are the
18 to 49? The males.
That's good.
And then 49 to 65 is another big one. Like it's males.
The deer camp helps you with
It's the
that.
deer. It
with
is
that
the deer.
crowd.
The deer camp crowd is very helpful. I know the audience is like, "What the hell are they talking about?" So we ended up our Pennsylvania talk. A conversation in our group this week has been. I guess it technically started.
I asked the question.
Yeah, like what you asked who because you were looking for guests.
I wanted some new guests on our podcast. So I of course asked the question, who do you think is the best local hunter that you know? And I gave some rules and stipulations. Like, I didn't want a guy that has a wall that's more impressive than anybody else but has only killed off of one farm. I wanted a guy that had some diversity in his kills. So, like, that was my stipulation. Like, please don't send a guy that...
He wants guys like himself.
No.
Who else do you know like me?
No, that wasn't it. I just wanted, like, a guy that's killed a couple on public, a guy that's killed a couple on private, a guy that's done
There's not a lot
a
of
couple different states.
There's that
And I was like, who is the guy? And nobody gave a good answer.
because there's not. Like for our group, I could point you towards Dylan, but all his out of state bucks, all of them
no,
are mule deer.
no. All of them are
Yeah, they're
but
all-
not public land.
No, but they're
So how
they're
does he do
public-
that? Is it outfitted?
No.
Just knock on door permission?
The one, so I don't want to give too much away. The one that they did a while back was it was basically it was private land but no guide, if that makes any sense.
So he just paid for the access.
And I don't, yeah, basically.
I would do that.
Self-guided.
I mean,
but
I would do
out
that.
in those states, like Arizona and that way, like we're talking like 100,000 acres. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it is here. Recently, his bucks, like the one he killed with Isaac and stuff, have been public. They did backcountry public hunts. Was how
Maybe I'll.
But he
will-
doesn't hunt whitetails.
Will he get on a podcast? I know he doesn't like to
probably
get on
not.
yours.
I had to force him on ours.
Yeah.
We haven't had him on this year once, I don't think. Maybe during
Maybe
turkey
after season.
So he doesn't like to hunt whitetails out of the state of Ohio. Like he just doesn't.
Is that like a
I don't think
quality
he-
thing?
I don't think he ever has.
That's what I'm saying. He just because for a while there, he's killed really, really good bucks in Ohio, and then once that's done, the rest of the year spent for mule deer or whatever. And he's more
goose and duck hunts too.
Yeah.
I know he's big into waterfowl.
Yeah.
he just hasn't been on any of the public land out of state trips with us yet. I think we'll get him into it.
Yeah.
So long story short, to tie in that question, that is why we brought it up. So of course, us three in our little chat group started arguing on, defending, private land, public land. Why does it matter where he kills it? And at the end of the day, the question was asked, who's the better hunter? The guy that consistently kills on public or the guy that consistently kills on private? And Aaron and I both kind of leaned more the public route, and then Caleb was more like it doesn't matter where the deer is killed, and he kind of leaned more towards the private guy.
More so you guys instantly wrote off the private guy, and I said
That's not true.
Yeah, I disagree. I wrote off, like, he initially wrote off the person that's only hunted one farm their entire life and kills all their deer on one farm. I'm not opposed to public or private land.
Right.
See, and I think that's what upset you. Right? I wasn't like pointing fingers at you,
There's
Caleb.
no one was upset.
I just
no
didn't
one's upset.
like. for example, so the guy, and he won't listen to this, and even if he did, he would understand it. So the guy that sometimes is on our podcast, Brenner, we call him King Corn. The dude's got a 170, a 160, like multiple deer that are like giants. But no offense to Brenner, like really nice guy, but does not know how to deer hunt. He's got a property down in, we'll just say Central Ohio, that's loaded with deer. He puts out bait, he puts out a camera, he waits until one shows up, and then he goes in and kills it. Like, the dude's got deer on the wall, which is impressive, but I'm not going to tactically ask him questions about how are you consistently getting on deer when that's the style of hunting that he does. Because at that point in time, if I had access to that property, I could do the same thing. I want somebody that's... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I basically redefined this question as, all right, say all these, if everybody went on a group trip, whether it's public land, private land, everybody on equal ground, who's going to be the one to kill a deer?
Yeah, you worded it better than I did.
And I know, like, I have specific people in mind that, like, they consistently go do deer camps, public land, private land, whatever, and it's always the same guy that kills good deer. Mm-hmm. So it's like if all four of us went somewhere, Matt's obviously going to kill the biggest deer.
Who do you think it is that he's thinking of, Ethan?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Matt?
No, him.
No, not
Who would he be thinking of?
Is it on his shirt?
No?
Yes.
I don't know.
No, you were right. You were right when you said it was on his shirt.
No?
Jake Bush?
Isn't it said?
No.
Oh, I thought that said Latitude.
No, I said Alex Chop.
Yeah, no.
Alex Chop is
Oh, that's
like...
Moultrie. I thought that was Latitude.
I swear I thought that was Latitude.
Yeah, we all thought it was Latitude, too. I thought it was Latitude.
Yeah.
You're too skinny now. He's got
No, it's Numa.
Numa.
Have you been losing weight?
I thought it was
20 pounds
Latitude.
heavier.
So I thought, yeah.
Really?
Because I
Alex Chop,
knew
yeah.
I knew
Looks skinnier
instantly
to
you'd
me.
be like, he's talking about Alex Chop.
Yeah.
You gonna get him on the
Shrine.
podcast for us?
He might.
I
He's a busy
messaged
guy. He
him
just had
a year and a
third,
half ago, and he read it and never responded.
he just had a third kid. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, I mean,
running a company.
whatever.
But yeah, like Latitude goes places. He kills good deer for the area everywhere they go.
Well, we have actually done this before. We've done so with you. You just never cool enough back then to do it with us. But
You guys weren't big enough for me to come to.
Matt used to say that about us, by the way.
Yeah, this is true.
No, we used to go to Indiana.
You're still not big enough. I just like you guys.
Right. We're catching you slowly. So we've had years where Born Again kills the biggest deer. There was a year where Siman Brothers killed the biggest deer, and then we stopped going. But you guys have killed some big deer since we've left. So the whole Indiana trip or the whole public land trip we do is kind of like that. And
Dude, I
would
miss
love
that. You guys need to come again.
Well,
So much fun.
I was going to come this year, but I was chasing my deer. But
I invited you.
I know.
I invited you, Luke.
This next year, I'm not going to.
And then you and
do
Luke
that.
sat right in that garage and was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna go."
The Wild Tying guys going again? Didn't they go once?
They went the first year. And
They
that was
went
it.
only once.
Yeah, before I was.
Well,
back
the
home.
second time Joey was down there with your
But
boy.
he was with. Yeah, he was filming.
Yeah. I would, like I said, I would love to do that again. I wish we got into some of this stuff with you guys. Well, of course, Matt was only in
Earlier.
high school and lived in Michigan, so it wouldn't have worked. But earlier, before marriages, houses, babies, kids, wives, careers,
I understand.
It makes
We're
it
like
hard.
10 years past when we should have been doing
Yeah.
this stuff.
And
Amen.
we'll be able to get back into some of this stuff again. We got to weed through. I mean, you have a baby that's how old?
10 days? 11 days?
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say a month. It's not even that.
His second child is 10 days old. It makes it hard to coordinate all that stuff. Plus, everyone has their own traditions too. You like going, you have your out west trip that you do every year. It's hard to line that up with our West Virginia trip with, Matt's going to Indiana every year. That's probably going to be an every year thing.
Yeah, that's why we got to get this Kentucky. I'm going to have to go find somewhere to hunt down by you guys in Kentucky.
Let's go this
That'd
summer.
be fun.
Huh?
Let's go this summer.
Why wait till summer, dude? I'm going next weekend.
Knock on
okay.
doors.
I'm
That'd
going
be
to start
fun.
right now.
We got football to watch, dude. Next weekend. You can't go next weekend. It's division playoffs. It's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of, never mind.
You're allowed to say that word. We say it every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a
It's
while.
2026. You can say that stuff now.
We do say
I
it
thought you
sometimes.
weren't allowed. To say that.
Back to your friend that you have, King Corn or Corn King, whatever you call him. There's some very big egos on social media that's the only way they kill and they hide it.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I know a lot of people that will kill over bait that won't admit it.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah. Yeah. I can
See that
honestly.
guy?
Let's play the 20 questions
Oh,
game.
wow.
I can-
Was there bait on the farm?
Yes. Okay.
Was he going to it?
No.
Was it private?
Yes.
Were you in a box blind?
No.
Crossbow?
Tree stand?
Saddle. No tree stand. Not a crossbow. I will
We
honestly
are
say
such
I
pricks.
can.
We're such bricks.
I can honestly say that I was hunting that deer 200 to 300 yards away from the feeder, and he was going the opposite direction.
He's coming from, not going to.
I've said this a million
snow on
times.
the ground. It was midnight.
I only feed because I want to keep deer on my property.
Doesn't he have like 10 acres of food out of his however many?
14 acres of food plots.
I tried that this year.
For my 3 deer.
I tried the constant feed this year on the one farm, and it has like 6 deer on it in the last month.
What's weird is it was big pre-rut. It actually was getting hit often. So your farm, it's weird. Once the rut kicked in on your farm, like the corn is rotting on the ground.
Yeah.
The deer just stopped eating it.
Also big
know.
ag, so there's a bunch of food everywhere.
Yeah, trust me. When I think that there's plenty. So this is my theory because I have very low deer density behind the house. I think that the amount of natural browse and stuff that they want to eat trumps everything besides excuse me, how should I word this? When there's a high deer population like around here, those deer browse on everything and then they have to go to corn or they have to go to the fields. I truly think the reason why we don't have deer on my feeder, dude, I get 1 or 2 deer a night on my feeder, and you would think that with it being 10 degrees, they just come eat as much as they want. I think they truly browse more and they want to browse more because their stomachs are in tune to that browse
and they're
digestion.
moving the whole time eating.
And they don't want to eat the corn.
I can simplify this for you. If you have a lot of diversity, the corn is less effective.
You're probably right.
So if you go into the suburbs or closer, some places like that, maybe places that are just straight maple woods, no understory, or in town where there's all these ornamental flowers and stuff, a corn pile is going to be an insane draw.
You're probably
everything.
You're probably right.
But if you have diversity around, you're not going to concentrate the deer.
Yeah, this farm has corn, beans, pin, white, red, all sorts of oats. I walk through the woods and I crunch acorns.
I guess the argument that I was getting to is there's not a competition for food.
Yeah.
The browse pressure is not high enough for them to be I have to go to the feeder tonight or I'm not going to eat. So I truly this deer right here that I killed, and I'm sure we'll get into it after the Ohio talk. I hadn't seen him on camera on the feeder in 3 weeks. Before I killed him, he would not go to the feeder, and I think that it was just he had standing crops. I had standing crops, so I think he was hitting my bean field really hard. But
your deer hasn't been on camera in 14, 15
2 weeks.
Days, but the landowner saw it twice. The landowner I was also talking to, he said that since the snow melted, the field is busting again. He's at night there's tons of deer out in the field again. So we might have to move some cameras around, but if it gets cold again, you know what I mean?
Just need to get you one of them handheld things and go out there and scan.
Cassock has a thermal.
I think that's illegal, but
I don't think it is.
How would it be illegal?
I don't think that you technically. I don't think you can scout for deer. You could. I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm saying you could say that you're coyote hunting, and that would be legal. But I think technically you cannot scout with.
You could do it on a drone. You can't use
if
it
it's
by
attached
hand.
to a drone, you're allowed. But
I feel like it's probably legal, ethical.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not doing that.
So Cassock has a handheld thermal scope that he the monocle that he brings on recoveries to check.
Yeah,
to see.
Black's got one, and it's
dude, right for recoveries, just like the drones.
Well, the funny part is
nice.
he always has it in his hand, and he won't
Doesn't say
he doesn't say anything. So we're
and he just waits.
And he's already seen it.
I lost.
You know what I mean?
Wiggle me. Okay.
I can hear you.
Our things are all wallered out. Can you still not hear?
I hear you.
Which one? I don't know which one yours is.
It's bare. I'll figure it out.
It's one of these.
He's number one.
Well, you said after the Ohio
That's
talk,
better.
so
That's better.
we really didn't even get into. We were kind of all over the place today. So for the audience, I guess we didn't really key in on points and go.
Well, let's talk about it for 10, 15 minutes, unless you got to leave.
No, I know he said he didn't want to be here incredibly late. We've already hit an hour.
No, I want to be here incredibly late. My wife doesn't want me to be here incredibly late.
Ethan, what time's the Panthers game start?
4:30.
Oh, we got time. Yeah. So if you're still listening, I guess we were bringing up Michigan, PA, Kentucky as it relates to our conversations we've had in Ohio. We don't need to ram those points down again. We've already made it. Eliminate non-resident. We'd love to see baiting banned. It's not going to be. We'd love to see a crossbow season implemented. It won't happen. There was
residents.
Yeah, that was the main one, non-residents, and I would like to see them go to a draw. I guess when it comes to all those points, I would like your guys' two ideas on what you think realistically can or should be done to help our situation We don't need, obviously we've been joking all day about the drones and the baiting and the crossbows, but realistically, what's the best direction Ohio can go to help improve things?
So,
or does it fine the way it is? You might think it's fine.
The two, like if I had to pick two out of all the 4 or 5 problems that were listed, let's summarize the problem. So I would say non-resident baiting, crossbow, technology. What else?
Access.
Well, that can tie into
How do you regulate the Amish?
So whatever the issues may be, the two that I think would be most beneficial, and this is like my honest opinion, I think that if we limited non-residents to say like 20,000 a year, made it a draw or even a first come first serve, like
Iowa does 6,000.
Once those 20,000 tags are purchased, because the stat that I was told, like I said earlier, was 45,000 or something stupid. So even if we cut that in half to 20,000, you're going to free up more access, because most guys that are coming from out of state are not trying to shoot a doe, right? Like, look at us.
10%. 10% that come from out of state shoot a doe.
So, like, they're going to come here to trophy hunt, and I don't blame them. If you're spending money to go out of state, like, I do the same thing. Like, if I'm going out of state, I'm trophy hunting. So, like, if you limit the non-residents, it's going to open up more access, because it's going to be less leasing, less outfitting. Also, you're going to have more opportunity at deer, because at the end of the day, we've all done it. Like, maybe it's the second to last day of a trip, and you're like, well, I was holding out for a 140, but this beautiful 3-year-old's right in front of me. I'm going to smack him. And then you smack the 3-year-old that maybe it wasn't your goal, but you're like, I paid for this tag. I'm going to go home. I know Caleb does a really good job of not trying to do that, but I know
trying.
There's a lot of guys that do that, and I'm probably one of them, where at the end of the week, like, if you shoot at the first or the last day, shoot at the first day kind of mentality. Like, I might shoot that smaller buck that I wasn't hoping for. So that would create more access for the residents. And then truly, I think bait would be another one where, if you could, on a biological standpoint, it's not good for the deer. And I think it would teach people how to actually go out and hunt, and it would save a lot of those younger deer from getting shot over a corn pile. And I think that would help our experience in general, because then the resources that we're chasing, the mature buck, there'd be more of them around, in my opinion. That's my argument.
That was good. That was really good.
I would tend to agree. It's tough, because for every one person like us that's really passionate about hunting and is wanting to advocate for this, there's a million of the other side where they're like, we're not about trophy hunting. We just want to hunt how we want to hunt and whatever. But the more of this conversation has been talked about, the more I think it's becoming evident that access is really the problem, and how much, like, obviously non-residents affect access, but things like, and I don't think any of these are going to change. Let me be clear. Maybe the non-resident. I could see that. I think that's probably the most realistic, that they would cap the number, like I think Nebraska just recently did in the last couple of years, which the number that they capped it at was basically like, I don't think it was it was basically like, our average number of license sales is whatever, 20,000. We're going to sell 20,000 licenses, so it's never going to exceed that. I think that's what Nebraska did.
They hit their carrying capacity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I think that's probably the most realistic change that could happen. But the one that's interesting to me is the crossbows. And for me, somebody who uses a compound, it's pretty easy to like jab at crossbow hunters. My dad uses a crossbow. I make fun of him.
Like, got one hanging up over there for my dad.
So it is what it is. But what's been interesting in hearing is like how people have talked about the downfall of the firearm camps, and how people don't gun hunt anymore. And, used to sit out on opening day and you'd hear 100 gunshots, and now you sit and you hear 3 shots. And why are people not gun hunting as much anymore? Is that because people just aren't hunting at all? It's like, no, we just gave them crossbows, like a scoped bow.
Right.
Bow.
100-yard shots.
That they can hunt for 4 months with their corn piles and cell cams. And, I use all these things too. Like I'll put a little corn out here, and I don't like hunting over it. I'm very much against doing that.
We're all on the same page.
But I run camera, I do all that stuff. So like no knock there, but it just got all these people that would have just been gun hunting and dispersed them across the board. So now public lands are crowded. People are leasing up ground more. Like it's just coming back to an access issue. And that's the most depressing thing. It's like, I work really hard to try to find places to hunt. I scout really hard. And pressure is such a big factor in deer hunting.
Yeah.
Amen. Well said.
I mean, I agree on both of those heavily, and it's Matt said a lot of things that kind of are worth talking about. You know, we get labeled, and it's funny when we say this, we get labeled as trophy hunters, but amongst the people who really know, yeah, we kill some decent bucks, but we're not really trophy hunters like some guys we know. You know,
we're not killing 190s.
We right there. This shop is full of 3 and 4 year olds and 120s and 130s and 110s. We're not trophy hunters in the sense where every year we're killing a 150 plus, but to a lot of guys online, we would be. We care about things that would make their hunting harder, and we care about it because it makes our hunting better. So they view us as the guys that are trophy hunting, but that's not exactly how it is. But I do see the points. Your gun camp things is a big one. The gun camps used to be huge around here.
Mm-hmm. And just look at like your videos that do so well are the gun camps, because I think people want that. They desire that.
They miss it. Yeah.
And they're willing to sit down and watch it for an hour, which is wild. Luke kills a good deer with his bow every single year, and the videos have done okay, but like
we've talked about that.
It's 5% of the views of the year are Luke killing a buck, or me killing a buck with my bow, or Nick killing a buck with his bow. The rest of our views are guys just watching us fumble around the woods and the cabin and working on the cabin and seeing does, and it's stuff that like isn't what we would consider the most exciting moments of our season. When you have your bow in your hand and a 150's walking by, that's where we're like, oh my God, and you're trying to get it on film, and the public doesn't really care about that, and your comment is perfect for that. A lot of people just miss the way it used to be with the groups and the camaraderie and the excitement of it. So that's why they tune in and watch it, because they want to see what it used to be like. It's a good point. And the state only cares about money and their stakeholders. That's readily obvious the more we dive into this. And we're going to keep diving into this. We're not done with this topic. Our audience might be a little bit sick about hearing it, but honestly, it's the time of year where there's not much else to talk about besides.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like, so you had the conversation with Skip. You guys talked with, about Mike Rex's comments.
We've had a lot of back and forth with Mike.
Okay. So
behind the scenes.
The question that I keep coming back to is, so what? Like, what can we actually do? Like, are we just going to sit here and keep yapping about it and YouTube videos?
I think gotta go to the meetings.
It's the squeaky wheel, though. That's, and I think that's why Mike Rex is being so vocal. I think that he's feeling pressure. I really do.
So, like, somebody listening right now, what could they do? Just get on Facebook, Hunter's
advocacy for one.
Yeah.
Are you going to link to that?
Yeah.
I do think that's something that I don't know a whole lot about them. I'm in favor of what they're doing, but I think it's something that should be.
Yeah.
We should start pushing more.
So the Hunter's advocacy, the meetings, attending the meetings, like Nick Miller, our buddy Nick Miller has been doing that or did do that.
How regular are they? Like once a year?
They're scheduled.
No, they're a couple times a year.
Couple times a year scheduled. You can get some floor time if you want. There's a way to do that. I mean, that's the way that's where these things are discussed amongst the public. We're still kind of figuring out how regulations are made, edited, and approved. That process is becoming a little bit more clear to us, even though everyone likes to say someone else is in charge of that. But
all they do is they stand in a circle and they point
like
at the
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, the biologist points at Mike. Mike, the head of the council, points at the Department of Wildlife head. The Department of Wildlife head says, well, I can only do what's brought to me.
Point to the biologist.
Yeah, so it's like, I still don't understand if baiting is considered a negative with no benefits and it hurts our turkeys. I still don't understand why we do it.
Is that baiting or corn?
Well, corn.
Is there a difference between
corn
pile and a
agree.
bait pile?
If you were feeding like a protein mix, I don't know necessarily what it would do.
Well, I think
to the turkey population.
I think you had to avoid the mold. So you'd have to be something that avoids the mold, and the best way to do that it had to be minerals only kind of deal.
Would that be a good center ground for the baiting?
Yeah, but then it's a gray area. So many people would
have a little bit of cracked corn in their minerals.
If we ban baiting, people are still going to do it.
Yeah.
The thing that irritated me the most was I think the Hunter podcast really stirred the pot on this, and kudos to them for
their job
for stirring the pot. And the thing that bothers me about the corn in Ohio is the question was asked to the biologist: name one benefit to the wildlife based on corn piles or feeding in general. He could not give
population control would be the only thing I could think of. Like it might be easier to shoot does and things like that.
But on a biology standpoint,
more get hit by cars than hunters kill, anyways.
But on a biology standpoint, the biologist could not list one reason why it was beneficial to the whitetail, or I should say, to the wildlife.
It was actually more detrimental to the other wildlife than the whitetails, I believe. Like,
Look at our turkey population.
I mean, there's.
And like I know Mike has argued on Facebook about, oh well, it's not corn, it's the coon and it's the nest robbers. Well, here's the reason why the corn affects. So he was blaming trappers and fur price.
It's a trickle-down effect.
It's a trickle effect because what is at your corn pile every single night? It's 30 raccoons. They have endless amount of food.
I do believe the number one reason turkey hunting has sucked, because I remember vividly. You can look around. There's turkey mounts everywhere in here. 15 years ago, before baiting was super popular. I know
before
people
Mac
did
could
it.
drive.
Before Mac could drive.
This is true.
But I know before baiting was popular. It was legal, but it was not as
It was
popular.
shunned upon back then.
No one was doing it. The raccoon population was lower, and the turkey population was insane. I killed 2 birds a year.
Dude, you barely see them driving around now.
Right.
It's
I was just a
sad.
kid out there with a box call and a single shot shotgun killing gobblers. Now, dude, the increase in baiting, and the decrease in trapping, the explosion of the raccoon population has just decimated the turkey population.
I believe it.
And I will stick to that. And then scientifically, maybe there's some things there with the spraying, the Monsanto and the no-till drilling and the cropland and removing tree rows and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all things that also contribute. But I think number one is the raccoon population.
Do we have more turkeys up here by us or by you down where you live?
I would say it's about even.
About even.
Yeah, because when we go hunt with Spaniel down there by him,
because
there's some spots that have some good birds.
It's spotty, yeah.
The birds like that open rolling, you know.
But we have huge developments going in by us.
Yeah.
Killing a lot of the
You guys
land.
definitely have 10 times the deer.
That's, it's wild, but it's true. But we also have more woods, I think. We're more timbered.
Yeah.
I would put a season on crossbows, a fixed season.
Yeah, I would.
Because
I don't want to take our friends that only hunt with crossbows and say you're not allowed to hunt no more.
Yeah.
But I would like to see maybe just all of November. You know what I mean? Or all of October.
Like let them hunt when it's good, but I agree. I don't think it should be year round. You should be able to use a crossbow.
I just think it's become too efficient for archery season.
Amen. They've become way too efficient.
Have it go from November for one. I think the season should end right after muzzleloader.
I'd be okay with that.
We do not need to be hunting right now
until February.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We're
still doing it, but I just don't think we should.
Is there a reason why it's open? Is there?
I don't know. I think it's
Ohio's liberal.
Ohio's very liberal in their laws. I would love for muzzleloader season to be the last hurrah.
The very last day of season is the last day of muzzleloader.
I'd be cool with that.
And I don't want earlier season openings. I think we should allow the bucks antlers to harden and do all that. I think an earlier archery season would be detrimental for Ohio.
Yeah, I'm cool with the last Saturday in September. That's always been a fun thing. I'm not like I wouldn't mind it being October 1 because I know Michigan's October 1. The only thing that would suck about October 1 would be it would open up on a different day every year. Yep. Like some years it might open on a Wednesday or something, and I wouldn't like that. I do like the fact that it's a Saturday.
Wouldn't bother me any, but
yeah, because somebody doesn't work. Yeah.
In the fall. If I had a choice though, I would rather have a September 1st opener and a January 1st close than like in an October through February.
So
move that muzzleloader season back to New Year's Eve weekend and be done on January 1st.
I wouldn't be okay with that. I think more deer would die.
I agree.
Opening,
but only crossbows in November, in December.
So Kentucky there's no crossbow opening weekend.
You have to wait like
September
20th.
It's 2 weeks afterwards. Yeah, and 53% of deer killed in September in Kentucky were does. Or antlerless, which is a wild stat.
That's interesting.
That's wild to me because
I don't think guys would want to.
We don't kill our does till later. Usually, we're later doe killers.
Yep.
Embryo killers. But the majority of the does I kill have an embryo in them.
I normally like to wait till like gun season and then I start whacking and stacking does. But at that point, they're bred, but they're not like when you butcher them or when you gut them. Excuse me, you don't like have a little hoof that sticks out.
I mean, does it matter though?
I'm just not into that. I feel bad when I do it.
It's understandable.
But
they also have the fixed crossbow season in Kentucky. It's just 2 weeks shorter, but they killed 2,000 less deer with crossbows than archery equipment.
See, that's wild because we're 72-27, 72-28.
They were 16 archery, 14 crossbow, 107,000.
You got to think how many people go to Kentucky, though, just for the first week of the season. And then how many people do you know go to Kentucky for their early season? They want to kill a velvet buck. And then by the time, their season opens up in their home state, they're never going back for the most part.
We've gone back a couple
I
times.
didn't do it last year, but the year before and the year before that, I went back a couple times. I drove down.
You went back for muzzleloader.
I think it's a small minority of people that go there end up.
I was very guilty
coming
of that
back.
this year.
You know, we spend a lot of money going there. That probably helps their economy. They probably feel the same way we do about us coming here, though, I would assume.
We haven't had too bad of experiences talking.
No,
to
everyone's
locals down
everyone's
there.
been nice to us locally, but that doesn't mean generally the state.
Spent a lot of money in Kentucky. My next deer, it's gonna be an expensive deer in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah,
It'll be worth it. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about your guys' bucks, or do we want to just can that one and bring it up next time?
It's up to you. You're the host.
I mean, we've got a good hour and 20 in already. We kind of danced all around it, but we would definitely be changing the mode of the podcast by talking about your guys.
I think that'd be a good one to start next time.
Come back.
Yeah, I would say I don't see a reason why we can't
Let's schedule another one.
get together again sometime. The off season is upon
I almost
us.
had both. I almost had my Indiana buck to bring here. I was going to show you,
I
but
want to see the Indiana buck bad.
my taxidermist actually wanted it today. So this morning when we were podcasting at Kevin's, he was running down there anyways to pick up his buck or something, and he's like, "I'll take the cap down." So I was like,
Who do you use?
his name's Brent Miller in Coshocton. It's Mill Creek Taxidermy.
Okay, you like him?
I really do. It's a drive, but man, he does fantastic work, and he treats me good.
Coshocton is a drive.
Yeah.
83 South.
You take
brother.
83 the whole way.
Yeah. Right. Hopefully you don't get car sick.
No, not. I've drove that so many times.
Yeah,
Not to him, but I worked.
Your job is that route.
I
right?
worked down there quite a bit. Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to add?
I was complaining about it being cold in here, and now I'm hot.
Yeah.
We got to come up with a better system. We need fans.
Yeah,
The
fans.
heat goes like the ceiling gets incredibly hot right off the rip, and you're cold, and then boom, like my feet are still cold.
My feet are cold too, but my upper body's getting a little toasty. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry I didn't get to. I told them we had steak and lobster, and they didn't want it.
Well, I heard that
Shame.
Ethan was cooking it, and I was like,
I eat,
fat.
I eat
Good
Ethan's
cook.
cooking all the time. Yeah, Ethan's cooking
I
is
was just
great.
messing. You made some good trail bologna.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and kind of just BSing about this topic. Jay's got some stuff lined up, so in the next couple of weeks, we might have a couple more guys on to kind of hammer this out. Then we'll have a big. I don't know if we'll ever end up having a resolution because we can only say the same thing so many times. But I'm glad we spent this off season talking about, the things that we could do to Ohio to maybe change things up a little bit. I still love Ohio, so it's
a
lot of
great
people
state.
are like, "Well, you whining bitches." That's not what this is at all. Skip said it. We could be the greatest. Ohio could be the greatest buck hunting state in the United States with a little bit of help. So let's go for that.
I'd be for that.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Nope.
Deer Shot Podcast 126.
We are out.
We're out.
Peace.